right, hello invaders. Welcome to another episode of the Pitch Invaders football podcast. I'm your host for today, Max, and I am with Amir. Amir, how are you doing?
I'm good, Max. How are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling? Tell me, Manchester City finally dropped some points, a tie.
I don't know, man.
Huh?
There's a lot of talking from everyone thinking this is Man City's downfall. We're still unbeaten, right?
You're not hopeless yet. No, Rodri's
So
injured. Your first tie, second tie now, but
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But I think I have all trust in Pep. We've been in these situations before. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne was missing for half of the season last year, and
that's
we
true.
still were able to get the results. We're always able to find a way with the current players, or maybe by scouting, like, and getting more players in the
Yeah.
transfer window. So I'm hopeful. Uh, we can still win it. Maybe
Okay.
we'll see.
I mean, I like your positivity. I'm sure we're gonna get into it, but
Mm.
Christian can't
Yeah.
be here today, so it's just the two-man crew. But uh, so for some reason, you're still ahead of me in fantasy. I'm still in third. We're still tied on points. So even though Manchester City didn't win, you're still winning, and Christian's still in first.
But here's a fun fact. Even though Christian is in first, I'm actually beating him on points,
Oh,
I
that's
believe. So
because you had
I think
Martinelli go crazy.
I I have 289 points and I'm in second place. Christian has 269 points.
That's
That's 20
crazy.
points difference. So Christian is in danger. If Christian, when you listen to this, I think you
Yeah.
gotta get ready. The next few weeks are gonna be hard for you.
We're both coming for him. I'm waiting for you to
Yeah.
fall, and then I'm waiting for him to fall. But yeah, we'll see. Well, we have a lot of games to talk about and get into all of it, so we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll hop right back into it. See you guys in a minute. All right, welcome back. Let's get into these fixtures. What an interesting game to start off with, huh, Amir? Manchester
I know.
City, the first game of the weekend. And man, uh, I mean,
Because
I have notes on it, but I'm sure you're gonna break it down. But 1-1 was the final result. Tell me your first thoughts
I
about it before
know.
I talk about it.
Well, it was an away game. I mean, I guess Newcastle is a tough team to beat, and especially at home too. But I don't know what Pep Guardiola was trying to do in this game with the formation.
Mm-hmm.
It's an early game, it's an away game. I know now it is announced that Rodri is going to be gone for the rest of the season,
Okay.
but I feel like he was experimenting from early on just to try to find a new way that the team can play. But I feel like it was too early for us to experiment while we still have the international break upcoming.
Yeah.
Why he could have just adapted the same playstyle that we were playing with when Rodri was out the first few games,
W-
try to get those points before the international break.
What did he change? Because I don't. I mean, I don't see a
And
different formation, but maybe I'm missing something.
so Savinho wasn't playing.
That's true.
He started with Bernardo on the right.
That's true.
Grealish was playing instead of Duku on the left.
Okay.
And we
He
actually
had a good
saw
game.
Rico Lewis.
I mean, Grealish had a good game, but
Yeah, Grealish had a good game. He had an assist too, which was good. But we also saw Rico and Kyle Walker both starting,
yeah.
which was interesting. And I feel like he's trying something new. I feel like in these type of games, especially after a big shock with losing Rodri at the beginning of the season, you just want to try to get as many points as you can. When you get to the international play break, this is when you start to think about how you're gonna play for the rest of the season. But instead, he started to play. Instead of stretching out the field with Duco and Savinho like we used to in the past few games, he put Bernardo and Grealish as ball carriers, and he was focusing to play more like just on possession and
Yeah.
keeping the ball as much as you can, which we were very slow
Mm-hmm.
in on the counters. We were very slow in build up. We were very slow in everything. So I think there are some question marks here. I honestly probably blame Pep for losing the points, but it's still a tie away,
Okay. Yeah.
which is not too bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
were you? I guess moving forward, would you hope to expect like Gundogan and Lewis in the back, like CDM, or what's your ideal like front lineups?
I honestly think probably Gundogan shouldn't be a starter.
Really?
I think he cost us some points in this game. There were a
Okay.
couple of chances. If he had made a better decision, we would have been
Wow.
able to
Okay.
score a couple of goals. Yeah, so I honestly think Rico Lewis is probably going to be a starter. I think he should start over Kyle Walker. We might start to see the same shape that we were playing with when Kevin comes back.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he will be able to start right away after the international break. So I hope that we find a way where we can play Rico, we can play Akanji or Stones, where they can support that DM position when we have the ball, and then stretch out the field, Dooku and Savinho. I think that's probably going to be our best play style in the upcoming few weeks because we were very dangerous in attack.
Yeah.
And then in the first few games, we scored a lot of goals. There were a lot of ways that we were actually able to find Holland that where he scored like two hat tricks back to back. I mean, it was effective. So yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully, Pep Guardiola doesn't go into that phase of overthinking, and
Yeah.
then he costs us more points. That's
Because
my biggest worry.
I mean, in this game, like apart from the Vardio goal and like that Silva volley, there wasn't really any clear cut chances. I mean, there was half chances, easy shots
Yeah,
that like Holland had, and a couple other people, but it really, I mean, apart Grealish was really, I think, the spark of, at least from what I saw, he was bringing that
yeah.
creativity. Um, but I think, at least for me, watching as a bystander, like a neutral, it was kind of frustrating just to watch Man City. So I don't know. I don't know. I have a question for you. Why is the player that scored 27 goals and 12 assists on the bench, Foden? I don't understand. Is he not fully fit, or
I I hear rumors that he is not fully fit. He is dealing with something personal. So he gets a couple of minutes here and there, but
I mean, he played
they didn't
90
really
minutes.
announce
He
anything.
played 90 minutes in the EFL Cup. Like, is that a
Yeah,
rotation? Is that meant to be a rotation, or
it
what was that?
it could be. It could be a tactical decision as well. But honestly, I mean, speaking of Foden, I would have loved to see Foden instead of Bernardo
Yeah,
in that game, for example,
I don't
especially.
understand the reasoning behind. I mean, if it's fitness, sure,
Yeah,
but he's been he hasn't picked up an injury since the beginning. I mean, he's been playing since August 18th. He's just
yeah.
been very reduced minutes, but I don't know. Did you see anything that resembled an injury when he came on?
No,
Like,
no, I didn't see anything. I mean, he might not still be like fully fit, like even mentally.
okay,
But I personally, I would vote that Foden should start over Gundogan
yeah,
probably in the next few weeks. He's gonna be pivotal in that like cam or behind the striker role.
okay,
But we'll see how things will turn out.
okay.
Um, yeah,
Nick
it's gonna
Pope
be
though. Let's talk about Nick
Nick
Pope.
Pope.
Man,
Uh, honestly, for Newcastle, they're very lucky to have a goalkeeper like him.
he was strong coming. I mean,
Yeah,
Holland had a almost a breakaway, and he was strong running out, and then that was a really good save for Bernardo Silva's volley, and
yeah,
I mean that's the same thing last week. He's the highlight of the defense. Like Newcastle doesn't necessarily have a good defense.
yeah.
He's the rock in their team, really.
Yeah, Newcastle looked a little toothless without Isaac, I must
Hmm.
admit. Even though I mean, we Barnes had a couple of good games and good shots in the
Yeah,
last few weeks, but without Isaac, it seems like he messed up that chemistry up front.
yeah,
I mean, they had to just score from a penalty, but I cannot recall. I mean, they had a couple of chances, but not like breakthroughs, and like
yeah,
you can actually think like they would beat Man City. I didn't think they were at any point of the game they were gonna beat us, but
yeah.
they were still dangerous.
Well, we'll see when you come up against like a fully fit, full squad like team in the coming weeks. Like I don't know how it would have gone if Isak was playing.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
would
Well,
have been different,
yeah, we'll see. I mean, uh, as a Liverpool fan, I was happy that they dropped points. So they're not
man.
unstoppable. Thankfully, you guys
And
are breakable.
and maybe we can take this as a transition point to talk about the Arsenal game. But you see,
Yes.
that's the difference between Arsenal and Man City. As a Man City fan, even if we're tying and it's the last minute, I mean, regardless of the Arsenal game that we won in the 96th minute,
Yeah.
but it is very rare that you find Man City pushing to get a late goal. or at least I don't, as a Man City fan, I don't have the belief in my team that they're gonna be able to get a last minute goal, similar to maybe what Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans had.
Yeah.
For some reason, I and it's I hate to say this, but I just hate it so much when I see those last minute goals for Arsenal and Liverpool. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
not again, please. That's
I'm
what happened with the Arsenal game, right?
That's crazy. I mean, Arsenal have a habit of doing this. I know Liverpool do too, but I mean, I just remember sometimes in like last season they would get like 96, 90, and it would be like crazy, and like they're still
No,
competing against City. I mean,
crazy bangers, yeah.
yeah. I mean, let's talk about that game. Like, what did I guess what's your comments on it? Like the Arsenal Leicester City game, they took advantage of Man City dropping, and
Yeah,
now they're all level. So.
Arsenal was dominating the entire game, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Uh, they had more shots, more set pieces. They were more dangerous. They were in control overall. But it seems like that moment that one player from the Leicester team believed that he can break that defense.
Yeah.
He was able to do it. Do you think Arsenal's reputation is so strong that players or teams don't want to try to attack them anymore?
I I think the defense probably intimidates them probably, right? I mean, they have the best
But
defense. Yeah, I don't know. I
they do, but this
they've reached the status now of like a Liverpool, Man City, where the teams are scared.
probably yeah. I mean uh, Justin,
That was beautiful, James Justin. Yeah,
James
did
just,
you
I mean,
see
two
that second
goals,
that
but
second curler like
it
volley?
was beautiful.
That is beautiful. The goal of the
He was
weekend.
like, I'm,
I mean, I know there was a
he was
lot of
like,
goals, but
I'm just gonna, yeah, he was like, I'm just gonna shoot. I'm just gonna go through the defense and like
yeah,
shoot it from the first time, and
it
he
was
made
beautiful.
it. It made me think, okay, maybe this Arsenal defense, I mean, there is a way to break them.
Yeah,
Or maybe, I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
That's how I felt. But I think, I mean, overall, Arsenal deserved to win, for sure.
Let's
But credit to Leicester
Yeah, yeah.
for trying.
I mean, Leicester City has been impressive all season, even though they haven't necessarily picked up points. But the one thing I want to say, Martinelli finally grabbed a goal. I mean,
Yes.
he might have listened to the
I'm
podcast because
I'm definitely happy with that.
yeah, because you got
And
good points, right?
yes, and he actually, I mean, Trossard had a really good game
Trossard as
too. It
well.
seemed
Those are
like,
two big vital goals that he scored.
yeah, and he's fitting really well, and like he's filling for Odegaard
Yeah.
while he's injured. So I mean, they are still missing a key player, but
Hmm.
so far Trossard has been able to fill that gap, and he's able to just connect between defense and attack. He's creating danger.
Yeah.
But what do you think? What do you think of Havertz
I
in this
don't
game?
think. I mean, hey, you saw how scruffy that goal that he scored was. It just hit him. It hit his shin.
Yeah,
I don't think he. It's a problem, man. It's. I mean, I'm not an
yeah,
Arsenal fan, so I don't. It doesn't really affect me. But it's a problem for them that they're finding a way around it. But like I said, I still stand by the concern I had last week when George was on. That I said I don't know how good he can compete. Like I said, the big six defenses, but I don't know how good he is. Maybe he's just out of form. I don't know.
yeah.
But
Honestly,
Jesus offers nothing when he comes on. I mean,
yeah,
he's just creative. He's got good dribbling, but in terms of scoring, Jesus doesn't offer anything. So I think they stick with Havertz and just hope he finds form.
yeah. No, I think, if Arsenal haven't won this game, I probably was ready to say that
Blame
this is
Havertz.
or blame like the team or the board for not getting a true striker.
Yeah,
I mean, they still they still won the game, but I stand with my thought that they really needed like a clinical striker. These are
for
the type
sure.
of games that if Arsenal wasn't able to get a goal and win it, like he would
Exactly.
blame not having a true striker,
Exactly.
someone that you can actually play on, a target man
Yeah.
that can score those goals in tough games.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Like Man
Yeah,
City can find a way around that, like we've seen like in the past, but they're probably the only team in the league that could have do that with like a false nine. But all the other teams, when it comes to those tough games and the rest of the team is struggling to score, you depend on that striker to be good. And if you don't have a
yeah,
striker you can depend on, the whole team like falls. So,
yeah.
but
But I think, I mean, overall, pretty good game from Arsenal.
yeah. Wait, how about we talk about Brentford and West Ham? Uh,
Man, West Ham.
dude, that before we talk about it, because just an upfront question: do you believe that Lopetegui should be fired?
No, man, it's too early.
I mean, look at their
But at the
form.
same time, yeah, they're in terrible form. They're in 14th place.
They, they got one
Five
win.
5 points. Yeah, 5 points out of 6 games. It's very disappointing. I mean, if I was a West Ham fan, I honestly would probably vote to try to fix it as soon as possible. I don't know if it's fixable, but maybe the best way is just to trust in Lopetegui and
On
give him
when
time.
I see the games, like every fan can kind of tell when a manager has given up hope. When I see the games, at least that's the impression I get. I look at him and he just stands on the sideline, hopeless, like as if he's
Mhm.
expecting to get fired. I've seen that in other managers that eventually got fired, but I don't know. That's just my recollection of how that went. But
Yeah,
dude,
I mean,
Brentford
but
scored
with the
again in the first
yeah,
minute.
first minute, yeah,
What
that's
glitch did
they're
they
the
find
first.
out?
I don't know. They're the first team actually in the Premier League history to do that 3 times in a row.
That's crazy, dude. And
Yeah,
it looked so similar to that goal that they scored. Was it against Spurs? They scored an exact goal like that against Tottenham 2 weeks ago. It was another volley like that from Embuemo.
it's a FIFA glitch. It's
It's
a
crazy.
kickoff glitch.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they found a way.
the manager said they practice a lot on the kickoffs routine. So
Yeah,
whatever like system they found,
it,
they just storm and try to surprise the defense and the other team, and it's been working the past 3 weeks. So
yeah.
they're gonna keep using it
It
until
is.
it stops.
It is working. So getting that early goal gives you already
Yeah,
like the upper hand in the game. So sometimes it works, sometimes maybe not, because the other team will be might be pushing more to try to tie and win
yeah.
and beat you. But I mean, honestly, with West Ham, I just cannot tell what's their problem. They have the players.
Hmm.
Uh, even tactically in their shape, they look dangerous and defensively on paper they should be good.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like maybe they are missing someone like in that Rodri or Declan Rice position
Okay.
where they because I mean you look at their lineup and
Woody
honestly
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez and Suchek uh are I feel like they cannot keep up
Yeah.
with the tempo. I mean, how many times we have seen like players like Brentford players or even like Spurs players or like from the other games just
Fly past him.
run. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like that Chelsea game was enough just to to watch and see like what was happening there last week.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Well, I guess the big high scoring game other than the Arsenal game, Chelsea again 4-2 against Brighton. That was close to my prediction. That was close to my prediction. I think I said 3-2.
Close, but you guys made fun of me when I was like, I think Chelsea are gonna find a way. You can start to see something is
Yeah.
happening. There is a shape up front. And we're starting to see that, which is very impressive.
What what a performance from Palmer. I mean,
Yeah,
I knew he was good, but the more he keeps doing these kind of things, did you other than his 4 goals, did you see that first time chip cross like through ball that he gave to
yeah,
Jackson? Dude,
was beautiful.
and then the free kick, I mean, the fact that he didn't start any matches for England in the Euros like still shocks me. I mean, but they're playing amazing. Sancho again got another assist. Him and Jackson, like Palmer and Jackson, have good chemistry. Um, Jackson, like we bashed him a little probably last year, and he got a lot of criticism, but he's doing a good role in this team, and you
Yeah.
know, yeah, I'm surprised at how good this team is. The defense maybe is not the best.
Hmm.
They did make a mistake for the first goal, and then Sanchez had another mistake for the second one, but other than that, I mean, should we be considering this team in the title race? Like, is this a team that we need to? Is this a dark horse in the title run?
I don't know. Now with their defense, I think it's very hard to consider them in the title race, but maybe like top four, top six
I
contenders.
mean, they're 2 points from the
I
top.
can see them.
They're one
Yeah,
point
I
from
can
Man
see them
City.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly I think even with their defense they can probably fix it moving forward. What I noticed that they're trying to build up very deep with the goalkeeper, similar to what Ederson and Man City players do, and they are probably just a bit uncomfortable
Hmm.
right now to do this, and this is what's costing them like some of the goal to concede some goals and just looked terrible in the bag. But there will be improvements. I think this team, even like with their defense, like they have good defenders. So I think they will play better in the next upcoming
Yeah.
few games. So, but I don't know. I mean, I don't see them as a title contender. Not yet. I think we're putting too much expectations on them.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. They kind of strike me as a team, kind of like how Liverpool was. I know this is a kind of comparison, but when Liverpool used to score 4-3 every game, like they're a team that maybe they
Mm,
don't have the best defense, but they know where their strength is, and they'll outscore the other teams. So, or they don't keep clean sheets. They'll score 4-2. They'll score, whatever. So I don't know. I mean, they
yeah,
could continue that kind of like their attack is it may be the best attack in the league. I mean,
yeah,
it could be better than Liverpool, especially after we saw today's, the game that we're going to talk about. But I don't know. They have the best
there,
attack in the league. That could be enough to bring them far enough where we kind of raise eyebrows. And I don't know.
yeah. No, I agree, and I think I'm happy Sancho found a place there. It seems like he's going to be a
Yeah,
regular starter. His third assist in 2 games, I think,
yeah.
or 3 games. So he looks pretty good. He's probably going to start over Pedro Neto
Hmm.
in the next few weeks for sure. But yeah, and like you said, they are really good in attack. Cole Palmer, I just don't get how Man City just let this guy go. And if they knew how good he was, they wouldn't let him go for 40 mil.
Yeah.
They probably should have demanded more. It's a bit of a shame, honestly, but
Hmm.
uh, good for Chelsea, good business, I guess.
Yeah.
We can, I mean, we gotta talk about the positive things too.
Yeah.
So good business from Chelsea from that end. Yeah.
Um. Yeah. I mean, that's all. Did you have anything else on that game?
And maybe we should talk about Brighton a little bit because they had a strong run at the first few games, and we were
Yeah.
very impressed. And then they started dropping some points.
Hmm.
Um, in attack, they still look good. They still look okay.
But defense is the big
Uh,
concern.
yeah, they're starting to look a little sloppy or slow in defense, I should say.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, dude,
um,
Chelsea was running around them like again. I don't
yeah,
know how Chelsea has the capability to make it look like it's a training practice, but they
yeah,
were flying past, and half of the time, the highlights just showed Palmer and then the defenders running all the way back from like the
yeah.
center. Like they were not keeping up with the pace.
Yeah, but from the Brighton team, one player I would highlight, I mean, of course, he's the player that scored and assisted the goal, Baleba, the guy in the middle.
Okay,
He is amazing. This guy,
okay,
the
he's 20.
energy I saw from yeah, the energy I saw from this guy, the his ball movement, his strength in midfield. Um, who knows? Maybe that's
Man
gonna be
City
their
scout,
next.
Man
I
City
don't know.
scout.
Just give them a ring or something.
This is like I'm gonna add him on my career mode FIFA
Yeah.
play. Nice.
Yeah, definitely a player to watch.
Yeah, I think once Juan Pedro is injured, but I think their
Yeah,
team is missing him because he offers a lot of pace and kind of trickery in the attacking. So I think they'll
yeah,
definitely be eager to get him back. Um,
yeah. I think he was performing really well in the next first few games. So
yeah,
um, hopefully we'll see him back very soon
yeah.
to help that team.
All right. Well, Everton. Finally, and Christian's
Finally,
not here to celebrate, but I think
I know
Everton finally won.
it, he's probably celebrating with Sean Dyche now.
Yeah, Sean Dice is probably drinking a beer with him right at a pub.
I know.
I mean, dude, they played.
But yeah.
Did you see the McNeil goals?
I I didn't see
They're
them, but
beautiful.
he's a key player for for
He
the Everton team.
his problem is like sometimes he's in form, sometimes he's not. He's a player that can produce those kind of creative, crazy goal moments, but not consistently. But Today he brought it all there, and I mean he was brilliant. Yeah, I think Everton deserved the win, but the question I have for you is Chris? I mean, it's a statement and a question. Crystal Palace
Mhm.
is in trouble. They're sitting in
I think
17th
so.
place. They haven't had a win yet, and I mean they've only scored 5 goals.
Yeah.
What's
I don't
your?
know what happened. They made good signings. I mean
They lost
they
a
brought
couple players. I
Nketiah
mean,
from
they lost Anderson and who am I thinking of the up front? The big one, Elise. Those
yeah,
are the two that they lost.
Olise, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe it was time for these players to go. Honestly, I mean, with these mid-table teams, there is a cycle for these players. When it's time for them to go, you replace them. And I thought they made good um, um, transfers. I mean,
yeah.
bringing in Nketiah from Arsenal,
And Kamada is a great
and
player. Uh,
yeah,
I mean, they kept hold
I
of
don't.
Mark Guehi before he was gonna
Yeah,
leave, but they kept hold of him.
I just don't know. Because we had high expectations from that team
Yeah,
at the beginning of the season, just because of the way they ended the season last year. Uh, but it seems like they just cannot find that chemistry up front with Olise, maybe not there.
yeah.
Uh, and like Mateta looks toothless. Honestly, he's not getting those goals.
And Ketia
I
probably
think
looks
their
like
most
their most threatening player, which is
I was gonna say Nketiah and Eze when he plays for sure, but uh, I don't know. Maybe this team after the international break, hopefully they could play a little better.
yeah.
Um,
I'm worried I'm worried that they're going to be struggling this season for relegation. They're going to
yeah,
be unless they pick up form and those players up front pick up form quickly. But if you keep getting in a rut, if Crystal Palace keep losing games, it's going to be hard to get back out of that rut. That's the problem. You don't
yeah,
want to start the season like that. Going into Christmas in relegation uh, is a tough thing. I mean, we know some teams can survive it, but it's tough to
yeah,
go into that. So
yeah. It is worrying because they only have 3 points, and it's not even from a single win. It's three ties. Um, so if they can just find a way to score those goals and get those points,
yeah,
I think they should be able to get out of there quickly. And they have the players, so
yeah.
um, I think they should be able to. uh, Maybe before Christmas, they will be like in the mid-table again. Who
All right,
knows?
we'll keep an eye on them. Um,
Yeah,
Fulham, like they got to win again, man. They're in
again,
sixth place.
again.
I mean, I never thought
They
Fulham was going to be in sixth place.
That's when you have a manager that you can build on, when you have good team management, good board, and they make the right decisions with the transfers. This is the product that you get.
That's true.
Honestly, very smart from the board with the signings and with keeping the manager Marco Silva and how they're building that team. They actually, I think they remind me of how well run Brighton is,
Yeah,
probably,
that's a
I would
good.
say.
Uh,
Yeah, so they are looking really good.
the team from back to front. I mean, there's faces in there that I really like Robinson, Anderson, who got transferred from Crystal Palace. Smith Rowe and Traore are playing fantastic, and Raul Jimenez stepped up and has picked up form quickly
Yeah,
instead of Muniz. So the team overall, and we know Brent Leno is has been always consistent and great. So it's a really good team. I mean, they're an upper half of a table team, and
yeah.
if they can squeak into like Europa League or something like that, man, that'd be great for them.
That would be that would be fun. And I think the approach or the game style for film has changed a bit with bringing in Smith Rowe. I mean, I think the last few years you would always expect from Fulham they will sit in the back and they would just react to what the other team will put on them. But what we're starting to see that they are more in control of the game.
Hmm.
They are holding the ball. They have possession. They are able to find ways to get the balls to a Traore or a Ayoub where they can make just quick transitions and
Yeah.
find Raul Jimenez, which is really good. I think this team is definitely the dark horse of the season, in my opinion. And I think they will just continue to do that for the rest of the season. They will be consistent.
In terms of Nottingham Forest, they experimented with something this game. They played two up front, Wood and Awoni, and I don't think that worked. I mean, I watched some of the
Yeah,
game, and I think Chris Wood is better up front by himself. He is that kind of striker that can handle that. Not all strikers are capable of being that sole player up front in like a 4-5-1 formation, but he is one of those players that can do good. And I mean, it shows that when you got substituted at halftime, so it
yeah,
obviously wasn't working. But I was surprised. I thought it was going to be, it was close 1-0, but I was expecting him to continue his form. Nottingham Forest have been playing pretty good, so I'm sure they're
yeah.
disappointed to leave with 0 points.
That's their first loss of the season, actually. So
Okay, that's at least some
they,
positive. It's not
yeah,
completely hopeless. So
yeah. I think they will be all right too. They are one of the team that we honestly did not expect them to do that well.
yeah,
So
we were all saying they're going to get
we'll see.
relegated, right?
I know. We were like, it's time.
And we're definitely wrong because we didn't think Chris Wood,
Yeah,
that's like 35, is going to start scoring all these
yeah.
goals.
And he looks pretty good
Yeah.
so far.
Um. All right. Any comments about that? Or ready for the
Uh,
Liverpool
I
win
just I
next?
know again, Liverpool win. You guys were in danger for a couple of minutes there after that goal from,
Yeah,
from Wolves,
I will
but
say it was an ugly game. It was an ugly 2-1. I don't. It was a poor performance from our front three. Um, like Luis Diaz, Salah missed a couple chances, and Jota didn't offer much. It was a poor performance from them, and then
yeah,
Konate made a horrible mistake. He
yeah,
like I mean, listen, if the goalkeeper is not going to come out, you need to be strong there. You need to be holding the ball so until it goes out or clear it. But he didn't make up his mind. He
it
miscommunicated
was
it
too soft. Yeah,
and he got easily pushed off the ball and luckily he made amends with it before scoring the goal, so it kind of leveled out. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean the thing is, even when a team plays bad, if they can find a way to get a win, that's what matters. And Liverpool, even how ugly it was, we still found a way to get a 2-1 win. And I I do have a little concerns with the attack.
mm,
I especially against the last. I mean, Wolves is in what? Are they in 20th place? So I would expect us to go to a team like that. I know Wolves probably has a point to prove, and I could see like after the game, Mario Lamina was like complete, like he was crying, covering his
mhm.
shirt. So they obviously were trying to give it their all and trying to pick up points. But I still expect us to go there and dominate, and we
Yeah.
didn't really do much of that. So I don't know. What did you think?
Did you think that was a pin, Max?
Uh, I'm trying to think back about what happened. Yeah, he
I
got
mean, it was a pull from like Semedo on Yota, or
yes.
I don't
I
know.
do think
I
it's. I
I
do think.
really didn't think it was a
It was
pin.
1 minute after they scored. Now I
I
remember.
know,
It was it
but
was it
like
was a pen.
I feel it was too soft. I mean, Yota was not gonna get there. The guy was just like, I don't know, but of course. Liverpool. I mean, honestly, that's what I admire. I really admire Liverpool and Arsenal for that. Like they give you that hope. Okay, we're gonna find a way to win that game,
Even if it's bad,
even if
scruffy.
it's our worst game ever. But with Man City, I mean, we dominate, and dominate, and dominate. Run the ball
Yeah,
to the back, to the front, pass it on, pass it around, and then
I
oh,
I think
until
Pep.
we find that
I mean,
breakthrough.
Pep
But
is stubborn. He sticks to what the system is. He's
yeah,
not gonna switch it up. Liverpool may and Arsenal may take some risks. They may switch it up. I don't know. Maybe I'm that.
yeah,
That's kind of how I look at it. Some managers are hard
yeah,
headed and they're gonna say if we're gonna win our way, and if we don't win it our way, then that's just how it is.
yeah.
So
It's something to respect, and also at the same time can be frustrating sometimes.
yeah.
But we'll see.
Well, Liverpool end the weekend on in first place, so that's something good that I can celebrate.
Yeah,
And
it's unexpected, honestly. I mean, credit to Arne Slot for just filling in like for Jurgen Klopp and not feeling that pressure
hmm
from the get-go. I mean, he's doing really good.
I mean, we haven't had any big major tests. I don't consider Manchester United a big test, so I think once once we come to October 27th, which is Arsenal. and also
Yeah.
actually October 20th is Chelsea. So that's a week apart, and I consider Chelsea a
Mm.
big game now, even though for the past 2 seasons we haven't. So playing Chelsea October 20th against that fly highing attack, I will. That's really a major test, and I think that week will kind of be a test to see if we're really cut out for this. I hope we are,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Are they playing Man City in Thanksgiving again this year?
That's a good question.
I think
Let's see,
so.
December 1st. Oh
December
my
1st. Okay.
gosh,
So
Real,
right.
and we're playing
Yeah.
Real Madrid the Wednesday,
Oh my God.
November 27th. Oh gosh, that's gonna be horrible.
Honestly, just for the guys out there thinking of playing a Thanksgiving trip, here you go. You
Yeah,
got a Champions League game and a Man City Liverpool game that weekend.
that's
So
crazy. That's gonna be a good week.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the last two games, Ipswich and Aston Villa. I'll let you start. What do you think?
Aston Villa, they got into the habit that they concede and then they come back. That wasn't the case in this game, but Liam Delap, he
Another
looks
Man
pretty
City
sharp
player.
for that. Yeah, he looks pretty sharp for that Ipswich. He's able to help that team get the points they need to just get out of relegation
Yeah,
spot and just be like they're still not in the safe zone yet, but they are collecting the points needed that maybe by the end of the season we actually see them stay in the Premier League, which is pretty good. But Aston Villa, I mean, dropping points, and now they are being replaced with by Chelsea. Chelsea took their spot on fourth
yeah,
place. You expect them to probably win this game, um,
yes.
but they couldn't. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think happened there?
Uh, I kind of bring it down to two things. I still think Aston Villa is wasteful up front in attack, and I don't. I mean, they haven't. If I'm correct, they haven't kept a clean sheet the whole entire season. So their
Yeah.
defense is a concern again. I mean, excluding the Champions League, but they it's a concern that their defense continues to leak goals. Um, I'm not really concerned about the team. I think that they'll find their way, but I think I'm just I Rogers. I know he's great. I just think it's going to take some time for Watkins and Rogers to be on the same page. I still don't think, at
Hmm.
least watching it, I still don't think both of them are being 100% fully utilized yet. Like, I
Yeah.
still think we're seeing 70% from both of them. You know, and it'll take time for both of them to get to that 100% where they're giving, they're reaching their full potential in that formation, in that system. Versus like Watkins last year was probably 120% overperforming.
Hmm.
This year we're maybe seeing 80% of Watkins. So I still
Yeah.
think there's more to come, but I got to give credit to Ipswich. I mean, they're brilliant and they have been fantastic, and they deserved a point. You know,
Yeah. They definitely tried. I think they definitely deserve the point for sure. And I do agree with you about the Watkins Rogers like chemistry there because I think it is something new that Unai Emery is trying this year. Where I mean, last year Watkins scored 19 goals,
yeah,
but the difference was that he was playing in a 4-3-3 with two wingers. While this is not really the case or the shape
yeah,
this year, they're trying more from the middle, where Rodgers is probably taking the ball and try to dribble and open those spaces. But um, I do also agree that maybe defensively, we thought they would do better with having Onana in midfield,
yeah.
but they maybe do you think it's the partnership in the back, like where those center backs maybe are not focusing or they don't have good chemistry?
Yeah,
They play together all the time, but
yeah. I mean, I'm looking at like their major. I mean, they still have Mings out and Cash out. You know, I don't
yeah,
think
but
Diego Carlos. I don't know if he's usually a starter. Maybe he is, but yeah, I think Onana offers a lot more in attack than in defense. If I'm being
yeah,
honest,
he scored two goals actually
he,
this
I
year.
mean, he's a
Um,
great player to have on the team. But I don't know. I hope that defense they need to get something working. You know,
hmm,
I don't. I don't have a trust in Spanish defenders. I'll be honest. Like Paul
Pop
Torres,
Torres.
I don't have a
Yeah,
trust in them. The like yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Oh, I've been burned through too many other like people like Alberto Moreno
no,
and well, let's see, but let's get into the big game of the week. I guess we can call
yeah.
it big game. I mean, on paper. What do you think? I did not expect. I did expect Spurs. I don't know if I predicted that, but I'm not surprised to see Spurs win.
You,
But I was not expecting a 3-0 win. So I don't know.
I,
What's your first thoughts?
I I remember your prediction. You predicted a dirty win for Man U.
Oh, okay. I was wrong. Dang.
But actually, Spurs won in the theater of dreams in front of the Man U fans.
I
It's
I have several notes on this. Like first of all,
go ahead. You start.
Garnacho continues to still be, I think, the best looking, most informed player in that team. I mean, he hit the post. He was so threatening. So it's only a matter of time that I feel like he keeps getting these amazing chances and hasn't converted it yet. But I think it's a matter of time. And then Rashford also looked great. I'm glad that it was good to see him starting ahead of Ahmad. So in terms of that was great. And then Onana, again, he deserves credit. He saves a lot of potential goal chances, and he's picked up form. So
Hmm.
there's some positives, even though they lost 3-0. But
Yeah,
like in terms of Spurs, Johnson, like again, scored another goal. He hit the post. In addition to that goal, he could have scored more. And then Timo Werner, dude, I haven't seen he missed so many chances. He missed like at least 3 or 4 1v1s. I mean,
yeah.
it's ridiculous. It actually was ridiculous watching it. I don't know
And
that.
maybe that's why Chelsea replaced him with Jackson.
Yeah,
But there are some. I mean, Man U really didn't look that terrible up until the red card
yeah,
that Bruno took, and I don't want to blame the result on the red card. That's not the case.
yeah.
But Spurs were more clinical. I mean that first goal, Mickey Van de Ven,
Oh yeah, dude, that was
like
amazing.
come on, that's not the first time. That's not the last time we actually see Mickey Van de Ven making that run just from box to box and assisting that goal. I mean, he's the fastest Premier League player probably.
It's crazy.
Um, but it just tells you like this team, Man U, they are still not defensively there yet, so they will continue to leak some goals here and there. I mean, Onana is probably their best player. I mean, that tells you the story.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have any friends that are Man U fans, but is it time to drop Bruno? Is he offering
Oh no.
anything to that Man U team?
I mean,
Do you
I do
think?
see your point, but to drop the captain, I feel like that breaks the team. Like I know
The captain is broken.
I know, but
The captain himself is
it's
broken.
just
He's not a he is
the
I
players
feel like
look
his
towards the captain. Like if you drop the captain, that kind of I feel like that will like break apart the that locker room. Like it's I don't know. I don't know. I feel like
no,
it's a two double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword, and I don't know if there's anybody on the bench that I would put ahead of him. What I mean,
yeah, I mean I feel Ten Hag, I mean I blame Ten Hag for not actually having those players
hmm
beside him like to be leaders. And I think Ten Hag is responsible for the form that Bruno is in.
yeah,
And it's not just the way he's playing. I feel like he is mentally exhausted.
hmm
I feel like sometimes he gave up. Honestly, he just doesn't know what else to do. I
yeah,
mean, he came to that team. He was leading them. Uh, he was the top goal scorer. He was assisting. He was very sharp, very confident. He was there to lead that team. But now, uh, with his with Ten Hag's, I don't know, like locker room situation with like the big players in the past couple of years, and how he's dealing with the players now. I mean, Casemiro, we haven't seen him on the field since the Liverpool game.
yeah,
Is that the best way to deal with your with a top player like Casemiro? Probably not.
hmm
Bruno's not far from that. Like I would say he's probably feeling that danger too. I mean, he
really,
might get dropped soon, and he's not mentally there either.
yeah. Well,
I don't know, just a thought. But I'm not saying this is the solution. Probably, I mean, we all know what's the solution for this menu team.
they need Jesus.
To pick up for yes, and he'll
Petition.
probably
Yeah.
get sacked. Yeah,
I think we're kind of approaching that. I mean, when you get to these kind of humiliating results, you
yeah.
only get a couple more chances, really.
And I just feel bad for Man U fans because they have seen those humiliations so many times in the past couple of
Yeah.
years at home. So you imagine you pay like the
Oh,
yearly membership to go
yeah.
watch your team, especially in these big games, and every time
It
at
feels
the
great
theater
for
of
me, man. I
dreams.
don't feel bad. I'm a
Uh,
Liverpool fan,
I,
and you're Man City.
no,
So
I
one positive thing I'll say is Ramses Højlund came back and he looked pretty
yeah,
good when he came on. So hopefully, I think he deserves to start ahead of Xerxes. I don't think really Xerxes has
yeah,
offered much in the past few games. So uh, I think once he comes back to that lineup, he could be a good key member in that team. I mean, he was pretty good. He picked up form in the end of the season. If you remember, he was scoring
yeah.
like several goals at the end of the season. So I think if they bring him in there, hopefully they can start picking up form. And I think Ten Hag will need him to, he'll probably stick a $100 bill in his pocket and say, "Please give me a goal." But
I don't know, man. I think, in my opinion, Ten Hag lost the locker room,
yeah,
and they really don't care much
yeah.
about anything at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see. Well, I think we got into all the games, so we'll take a really quick short break, and then we're gonna get into the next week games. See you guys in a bit. All right, welcome back, Invaders. We are going to get into the score predictions and update you guys on how we're doing in the kind of league table that we got going on. So, just to remind you guys, 3 points for guessing the correct score and winner, and then 1 point for guessing the right winner and the wrong score. So, in first place, he's taking the lead, Christian, who's not here to
Oh my
brag about it.
God.
Thank God he's not here to brag. He has 43 points. Max in second, 42. And then Amir still struggling.
Relegation form.
He's at 29 points.
I
Oh,
know,
man.
man. I guess prediction is not my game. I just don't know. But we gotta give credit to George. Actually, he beat us all on
He
predictions.
did.
He scored 7 points total, and that was the highest scoring out of all of us.
Man,
So
congrats, George. I know
good
you're
job.
listening.
Good, yeah, good job.
Well, let's see how we could do. Let's see how we could do this time.
I I need to do better. I just don't know. Maybe prediction is not my game, but come on.
All right, let's
All
get
right.
into all these games. So the
I say this, and then I'm gonna predict. Oh, Liverpool is gonna
5-0.
lose.
Yeah, you're gonna.
No, Liverpool losing. That's how I lose.
All right, let's start with the first one. 7:30 at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. I'll let you start first, Amir.
Man, well, I mean, Crystal Palace, they're not in form. I mean, they will probably try to prove a point against Liverpool uh, at home, but I still think Liverpool is going to be able to win. I think it will probably be 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. All right, I'm going to go with 3-0 Liverpool.
Wow,
Yes,
you think
I
so?
don't think that I'm not really concerned about that Crystal Palace attack the way that they're playing, and I think this will be a good game to kind of pick up that goal scoring form. So
That's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see.
we'll see.
Christian, well, we'll get all Christian's updated scores predictions next time. But okay, our next game, Man City, Arsenal versus Southampton. Amir,
Easy win for Arsenal. Uh, I think 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is Arsenal playing all games at home? I mean, except the Man City game, but I feel like every time I open an Arsenal game, all the fans are wearing red. They're playing in the Emirates. Like, come on, man, it's fixed.
I I'm gonna go with I. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with uh 3-0 as well. I think
Yeah,
that's a reasonable score. Um,
I see it.
yeah. Okay. Brentford Wolves. What do you think?
I mean, the Brentford's guys are gonna score their first goal in the first minute again. Wolves are probably gonna tie. I think it's a 1-1.
1-1. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think Brentford has more of the edge in this one. I'm gonna go with 2-1. 2-1 to Brentford. I still think Wolves is gonna be fighting because they really need to get a win. So I'm gonna
You
stick
know
with that.
what? I'm gonna make this more fun.
What are you
I
gonna?
think I'm gonna predict that Wolves are gonna win 2-1.
Really? Okay. I mean, that's
Let's
a
get
good
let's
prediction.
yeah, let's give them their first point.
All right, I like it. Okay. Leicester City versus Bournemouth
Honestly, Bournemouth are
on
they look
fire.
amazing. Yeah. Semenyo, Kluivert, and uh
Evanilson got
like
his first goal.
yeah, they're all looking pretty good. I mean, Leicester City are really good too. I think this can be a win for Bournemouth. Um, I think 1-0.
1-0. Okay. Uh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 1-1. I think.
Okay.
I think Leicester City can get another point. I wouldn't be surprised if Leicester City win. You know, I do think Bournemouth is flying, but
Yeah.
I think Leicester City have a point to prove. They haven't won many, so I think 1-1 is
Yeah,
fair.
and these are the games if Leicester City want to stay in the Premier League, these are the games to get points from. So,
Yeah. All right, the tough game. Not an easy place to go. Man City versus Fulham. Well, luckily they're at home, but I don't know, Mir. What's your predictions?
and I am traumatized from the amount of times I've seen Adama Traore running down the wing and Man City defenders chasing him for that last minute goal that's gonna give Fulham
Are you predicting a
one
loss?
goal. No, they
Oh,
can give Fulham one goal, but Man City is gonna win 3-1. 3-1 for
really?
Man City.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I
Oh,
still think Man City's gonna win. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 2-1. I think it's not gonna be a convincing win, but it's hard for
yeah.
me to say Fulham will win. I don't know. I can't. I can never see that. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Pep. Do your magic.
All right, West Ham versus Ipswich. West Ham needs to get a win, so I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go with Ipswich will win. I'm gonna go Ipswich 2-1.
Yeah. Huge difference between need and can win. I don't know. I I think it's gonna be 1-1.
That's fair. I think
Yeah.
that's reasonable. Everton Newcastle coming off of a big win. So what do you think, Amir?
Yeah, no, I think Newcastle are going to be able to win this game. They look pretty sharp. I don't know if Isaac is going to be able to join the team in next weekend, but I think Newcastle are going to win 2-0.
Okay.
Poor Everton.
I'm gonna go with. I still don't think Newcastle is very convincing. Um, I'm gonna go with 1-1. I think that Everton can hold out for another. I think they're gonna ride that, and I think Everton can get that 1-1. Um, Aston Villa Manchester. That is a good game. For Aston Villa to win. That's what I think. I think Aston Villa win this
I
for.
I just cannot predict what are gonna do. Like it's so hard.
I
There are
agree.
teams that you can. I mean, I think I put Man U and Spurs in that bucket. Like you just cannot
Yeah,
predict
predict.
how they're gonna play or what form the players are gonna be in. Um, yeah,
You go
I think
first.
Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa are gonna get a win. 2-1 Aston Villa.
All right. As we were talking about it, I think I changed my mind. I think Manchester United need to get a win, or Ten Hag is fired. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with a 1-0.
1-0
Yes,
Man U.
1-0 Man
Man,
U. I think it's reasonable. Um, okay,
we'll see.
Chelsea Nottingham Forest.
It's gonna be a high scoring game again.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't know, another 4-2. I don't know.
You think Nottingham
What
Forest will
do
score
you?
two
No,
goals?
you go first. I don't know. Let me
Uh,
think about it.
I'm gonna go with honestly, Nottingham Forest didn't score like this last weekend, so it kind of surprised me. I want to say that Chelsea will win 3-0.
Wow. I think Nottingham Forest will get at least one goal. So I think I'll go 3-1.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
3-1. All right. I think that's the last game. There's no Monday game. Yeah. So the last game is Brighton versus Spurs.
It's gonna be a good game. Um, I don't know. I mean, thinking about how Spurs have been playing, and thinking about how Brighton defend,
Mm-hmm.
I think Spurs are gonna be able to win this game. It's not
I
gonna be an
agree.
easy game though. I think it's gonna be like maybe a 2-1, or even honestly, you know what? I'll go 3-2, 3-2 Spurs.
3-2. Okay, I like it.
Yeah,
It seems reasonable. I mean, they score. Both teams are scoring
both
right
teams
now.
are,
So
yeah, in attack they look pretty good, but Spurs are really good in attack too. Um, yeah, so it's gonna be a good game.
I'm gonna go 2-1. So I'm still predicting the same winner. I think
Yeah,
I think Spurs will win. So uh, yeah, I think that wraps up all the games. Amir,
yeah.
what did you think about the weekend? Any other things that we missed? Surprises that you wanted to get out there?
I mean, of course, Man City losing the lead. I mean, I'm not gonna say it is unusual. It is the usual thing that Man City loses the lead, and then we get it back at the end of the season. So don't get your hopes high
Yeah.
up, Max, with Liverpool winning the Premier League. But
All right.
I
Well,
don't know. I mean, it was very interesting. There was a lot of like switching places, like in the table. So we'll see how it turns out before the international break next
yes.
week.
Yes. Well, let's see how Manchester City cope with the Rodri injury. Let's see if Liverpool can stay up there in the first place. And yeah, excited for next week. Amir, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for another great episode. Hopefully next week
Thank you,
we'll have
Max.
Christian. And thank you in DJ Mustry or George Mustry, as he's like to like to be known, for creating the
Yeah.
music for this podcast. Please like, subscribe, and follow along for this season. And make sure to invade a pitch.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye, guys.